Okay guys, so now we're going to turn a layered bob into a shag. All right. Now a classic shag or shake haircut is actually working vertical diagonal back sections all the way through. First section is to put in the bangs or fringe, whatever you call it, down to your outline length. And then it's to actually work with elevation and over direction all the way through. Not an easy haircut to do. Now, what I wanted to show you is a very, very easy way of doing it. But the reason why I've actually attached it to the layered bob is because it's such a good end result. A typical shag is round. And that means its heaviest point is in the center back, right? So again, that's got that mullet feel to it, right? So it's always going to do this to that person. Whenever I see shags and I look on social media, I always see the front picture. I'm not really seeing so many profiles because I know that when you pull everything forward, it leaves this the heaviest. So because we've gone through and we've got a layered bob, that means it's layered already through here and it's actually getting heavier towards the front, a triangular shape. I'm going to combine triangular and round now. So a layered bob versus a shag. And we're going to get what's known as a diamond shape through the haircut. So round and triangular together. All right, so it'll leave the weight at its weakest point through here. So the sectioning, what I've done is, I've sectioned from the apex to right behind the ear, that mastoid. Now, the reason why I'd done it this way is years and years and years ago, I had the pleasure, when I left Sassoon, I joined Paul Mitchell. And for a while there, I was creating haircuts for the art directors. The first haircut I created for Robert Cromines was this particular haircut. And it was cut out here. So it was much longer. So it's a much, longer round layer, which we're kind of familiar with, right? All a shag is, guys, is it's a round layer that's closer to the head shape. And if I go even closer, it's a mullet. So those are the three kind of levels to it. So I'm going to go for that shag kind of shape. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to work with horizontal sections all the way through this, lifting everything up into that first section, right? So basically I've isolated this area. This is going to be where the most of the layers are going to be done, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is take my horizontal section down the middle. This first section is the shortest part of the haircut. It's the fringe, it's the bangs. So whatever I cut here is where it's going to fall down there. So I got to decide how long I want those bangs to be. I'm going to go a little longer than I think because I can always cut more, right? And I'm going to cut a line that follows that head shape. So again, immediately I'm working with head shape. So that's where the start of my fringe is going to be. It's right on those cheekbones. So now I'm going to take subsequent sections and I'm going to elevate everything above 90 into that first section. So right now I'm creating a concave layer. And obviously it's a stationary guideline. So I can actually condense all of this and bring it into that if I want to. Or I could just take larger sections so that it doesn't take me as much time. Bringing everything into the first section. Coming through, I'm just going to bring all the rest of that into that. And you can see how quick this could be done. So now we comb this down. Obviously, I've already established this length through here. If I hadn't established this length, obviously it would be a little bit longer. Now, if you are dealing with much longer hair and you don't want to lose the length, that's why we're sectioning off this band through the front. This is completely different. It will be disconnected. So that's where you would keep all the majority of the length. Remember, the shag is severely layered around the front. It's heavily layered around the face. So now let's move to the other side. I'm going to stay in the same position. I'm not going to move over there. I want to stay consistent with how I cut this. So I will use the mirror or the monitor to make sure that I'm pulling it to the right place, because now I'm on the opposite side of the head that I'm working from. Get my guide from the center. Same thing on this side. Split that. See, now I'm going to condense. I'm going to show you how quickly this can be done. Let's have a look. And we've got the same. So now you can see the fringe, the bangs, working down into the side there. We'll customize these a little bit later. But now what we're going to do is we're going to connect the back into the front. Now, when you do the traditional shag, which is just keep pulling forward and coming through here and layering this a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pivot off the apex, like so, from the center towards that side band on both sides. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to connect and continue that line all the way through. Where's the middle? There we are. So now pivoting off the apex, and there's the front. And I'm just going to continue that angle all the way through. Let's turn her sideways so you can see this better. There we go. So I'm just going to connect all the way through to there. See, now I've got this corner. That's where round and triangular meet. And now I'll just pivot off the apex, lift everything straight up to the ceiling, and continue this concave layer. And I work all the way around to that mastoid. So not pivoting through into that band that we started with. So the only connection point between the front and the back is the apex. It's not connected through here or here. So now we'll do the same on the opposite side, pivoting off the apex again. Again, very simple haircut. It's a relatively quick haircut as well. Very salon friendly. So you can see that concave layer, taking away that interior weight, keeping our outline weight. All the way until we reach that front band. And there we have a layered bob that's turned into a shag. So let's look at this. So obviously, these bangs, this fringe is a little too long, so I'm going to come through and kind of just readjust them. So I don't want to blunt cut this, but obviously to adjust I would just come through and pinch the hair and slice it. And you can see it starts to take on that very kind of shaggy, layered look. And there we have a shag. So again, just to break down, we have a layered bob, so triangular layered bob that we did earlier, and then we've come through and we've turned that layered bob into this cute little shag shape. Obviously it could have been longer as well, it would be the same technique, but obviously I'm working off the bob that we already had. And so now we just have this really kind of cute layered, heavily shaggy bob. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. It's very salon friendly and very easy to do. Thank you very much.